I'm standing at the crossroads. There are many roads to take, but I stand here so silently for fear of a mistake. One path leads to paradise, one path leads to pain, one path leads to freedom. They all look the same.
My name is Robert Johnson. 49 years old. I live in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the name of your store is Johnson's Antiques. My name's Johnson too. I'm Robert Johnson, you know, like the old blues guy.
All my life I have gone by the name Bud.
You got any record collections?
I don't do any records. Get a few record players, but no albums.
Do you ever get any collections?
I was born Robert L. Johnson. Since I was 17, I've often been tempted to use the name Robert Johnson because I'm a blues man. 30 years later, I'm still a blues man. Now, I've never really wanted to use the name Robert Johnson because of the stigma attached to it. Robert Johnson's legacy includes being known as selling his soul to the devil, as well as the writer of some of the most famous blues songs. I can't believe I'm this far deep in the Delta. It's been 60 years since Robert Johnson died, poisoned by a jealous husband. He was 27. He never minded much people talking strange tales about how he learned to play so good. But he sure left behind 29 songs everybody's still listening to. But this trip is mine.
But you treat me so unkind.
Some might call it a quest. Some might call it cosmic, mystic.
Jesus will bring things out all right, 'cause he's a friend.
I feel that God is directing my path. I call it serious.
Times may come when we may doubt, but just have faith and he'll work it out, 'cause he's our friend. I know he is now. I've always heard that the blues came from like far down. I know the colored country people used to sing it all the time. I'm quite sure that every Christian would naturally say that the blues is proud of the devil, and the gospel songs is of Jesus Christ, and therefore they seem to believe that it all first came from to be good in a gospel song, and the blues songs you hear so many different words and much different from the gospel.
History is very important. You should learn about your history. You should know about your blues history and people that were in it. You should know about B.B. King, Aretha Franklin, and a lot of blues singers.
Have you ever heard of Robert Johnson?
No, sir, I've not heard about Robert Johnson, but I would sure like to know about him.
I gotta see this on these. Man, what we said, the blues, like
come from blues come from like other music.
I went up this morning to try to check on my job, but they didn't need anybody. I just went one place, and I come back, and I sit here and think and hope I might get a job. Yeah. I'm a migrant worker. I pick oranges, apples, on the season, but I haven't picked the last 2 years, so I haven't worked it in 2 years now, so I really need something to do. So.
Are you happy in this old life?
Well, I would have to say most of the time. That's inside, yeah.
I went to the crossroads, fell down on my knees.
You know, it seems to me there must be a record of that 30th song somewhere. And I bet it ain't no accident that it disappeared either.
I went to the crossroads.
The legend says that Robert met up with the devil at Friars Point and Highway 61 about midnight.
Had the Lord of mercy, say, poor Bob, if you please.
The devil took his guitar and tuned it up, played it, and gave it back. The guitar seemed to play itself by magic. You see, that was the deal. He could play like no one else in exchange for his soul.
Stand at the crossroads, I tried to flag a ride.
But I know Robert didn't feel good about that after those years went by. I think he used that ability to play for that one last song for Jesus. But I got to find that song. I got to play it for the world to hear it so the world will know. I got to find me some old boys that lived back then.
I got a woman way over town, good to me, yeah. I have a woman way over town, good to me, oh yeah.
You're allowed to get a lot of money for singing that song.
Come on and be my baby, come on and be my baby, I'll buy you it down, I'll buy you it down. Whatever you know, be my little woman, I ain't gonna buy you a dog. Come on, little school girl. Come on, little school girl. Can I take a walk? Can I take a walk? Robert Johnson, who was Robert Johnson, 1929. Yeah, 1929.
And you mean you saw him play?
Well, yeah, oh yeah, I see him play. Mm-hmm.
How was it?
Oh, he was nice guy, everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was around then, him and Howlin' Wolf. Well, I don't think I did him by no soul. He might have been saying he sold himself to the devil because he might have not went to church. Yeah, that's the way I look at it, like that. You know, if you don't go to church, you got to be a devil. If you go to church, regardless of what you do out there, if you pray to God and go to church, everything will be all right. See, you can't serve but one God. You can't serve God and the devil too. And now if you want to serve God, you serve God and let the blues go. See, if you want to not serve God, you sing the blues and let the church go. That's the way I see it. See, I'm 82 years old and I've been in church quite a long time. When I quit singing blues and went back to church. See, I was a big gambler, shoot dice all around Lord Beckham. Oh, I didn't do nothing but run around and shoot dice, play cards. See, that's what I did in my lifetime until I got tired, and then I went back to church. That's what every man needs to do. See, when you get tired of the blues, give God some of your time. See, but I like to give the devil the biggest of my time before I quit. See? With everything, you know. Oh, yeah.
I've traveled many roads, and not all of them were good.
How's it going? All right, welcome to Crosstown Bar Show.
Thank you.
In fact, I've always wanted to have an opportunity to clear my good name. I should say our good name, because Robert came a long time before I did. But that seems to be the purpose of my life.
No, not anymore, but I do know where he lives.
Do you really?
Oh,
Could
yeah.
you give me directions?
I sure could. He lives out in the country.
All right.
I've seen myself, you know, finding that record in some old record store, but I've been to so many of them now, and I've been through so many, even collections, that I don't think that's where I'm going to find it. I think it's going to be in some obscure place where I don't know. I'm going to have to just feel led to it. I'm going to have to just wait for the right feeling when the time comes. I'm going to keep looking. You know, I'm getting kind of tired.
Johnson. Actually, my real name's Robert Johnson, like the blues guy. You ever heard of him?
But there's this feeling I got that I just got to keep going.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I feel like it's something I'm supposed to do.
Robert Johnson supposedly sold his soul to the devil.
Sometimes a man only gets a chance to do something great in his life once. And if you don't take that opportunity, you may never get it again. I didn't pick my name. I didn't want to be Robert Johnson. I'd never heard of Robert Johnson when I decided I was going to be a blues man. That came later. But this song, sometimes I think I can hear it. You ever been in church? Had that shiver go up the back of your spine when you know the Holy Ghost is moving? Feel like you got angels singing along with you when the choir's singing. All of a sudden the choir sounds bigger.
Wait on you. You know that song, Joe?
Uh-huh.
So go ahead and sing it then.
How long, baby, it gonna be? How long, how long? How long, baby, it's gonna be? Well, I'm trying to tell you now, the time ain't like it used to be. Trying to tell you, baby, I was out in New Mexico, running around in town. I couldn't have found out that my baby's hanging around. Then I cried out. I said, how long, baby? How long the time gonna be? Yeah, come on now. Then I walk, I got off now. Hey, baby, down in town. Tell me now, let go. We're gonna walk around now. How long, baby? Darling, how long we gonna be? I said, I wanna make love with you, darling, and the whole round world wanna say. Now, nobody but Sam Carr. Oh yeah, hit it out, Sam. Now you're doing it. Well, we walk and we walk, babe. Walked on out of town. You tell me now, darling, somebody else around now. How long, babe? How long is it gonna be? Well, you know you promised me, darling, the whole round world can see. Yes, well, all right. Ooh, yeah. That's good for the old time. I was standing at the Crossroads trying to flag a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something that most other guys ain't played.
Mm-hmm.
Cause most of them play them
same
song.
Yeah, but it's all over.
Man, what times must have been like back there in them old juke joints, roadhouses on a Saturday night. Cheap booze, cheap perfume, kerosene burning, black folks drinking and dancing till all hours. Now no more. This new generation don't care nothing about the blues.
I guess it's all the same thing. Young folks don't listen to it, and the middle-aged people wants to hear the young folks' music, like 35, 40 years old, maybe 50.
they want to mingle with the young folks, and they don't realize they study going. They study getting old. And so, and they's not as old as I is, so the older music don't appeal to them as to do with people my age or a little younger. But if he's 40 years old, maybe 50, sometimes my music don't take on him, because that ain't sound good to his ears. Just like me, back in the 30s, 20s, I listened to their music. Only different than me, I realized he playing all he knows to play. And whatever he was doing, it didn't sound as good to me as my music sound. See, every 4 or 5 years, something new come up. And they would study changing, just like everything else in the world. Everything is study changing. When I come along, it was a T-model Ford car. That was the car. See, all right, 10 years later, they made a different automobile. And that was the car. Then the car went out. So everything is going in and out the way I see it. How much, baby? That's too fast.
You supposed to be playing blue. Rock me, baby. Rock me all night long. Rock me, baby. Rock me all night long. I want you to rock me like my back ain't got no bone. Feel me, babe, like you roll your wagon wheel. Roll me, babe, like you roll your wagon wheel. Well, you don't know how good it make me feel. Rock me, baby, rock me all night long. Rock me, baby, rock me all night long. I want you to rock me like my back ain't got no bone.
I'm a little long. Who gonna listen to it? They may have some old record stores back there listen. I got some stack of them back there, stores back. That thing full of old records. I reach back and get them and listen to them. That's the only way I'm gonna hear it. Because those people died out, or that made them records. And the way the musicians thinking was then, it ain't no more. The way the young person think, he don't think like that old person, even when he was young, because he didn't have nothing to think for him.
Pretty baby, how do you like my automobile? Pretty baby, how do you like my automobile? Won't you ride with me, baby? You don't know how it make me feel. Pretty baby, have I been wasting my time away? Pretty baby, have I been wasting my time away? You should have been here with me, baby, instead of 50 miles away.
Can't get the same tune today for some reason.
Well, you know, guitar player.
No, it's really going out. Everybody's trying to keep the blues alive, but it ain't gonna. They gonna let it alone. Only thing there'll be, some people be listening. They want to sit back and listen to what was done years ago. But I don't believe it's gonna stay. It's obsolete. So that's what music gonna get. It is about to be get. They trying to bring it back. But I don't know. I don't think they will, because you ain't gonna have the same sound.
The foolish ones taught more to me than the wise ones ever could. One path led to sacrifice, one path led to shame, one path led to freedom. They all look the same. There were roads I never traveled. There were turns I did not take. There were mysteries I could not unravel. Leaving you was my only mistake.
Maybe Robert Johnson needs some help. Maybe, like that old woman was talking about, maybe he's trapped here because he never played that last song in public and told the people that he had turned to God and he was going to fight the devil over that contract, that he didn't want to give up his soul. And maybe that's why he died young. Maybe that's why the devil wouldn't let him live out the contract then, you know. I don't know how that stuff works. I don't fool with that hoodoo stuff myself, you know. I know about the John the Conqueror route and them all the mojo stuff. Go down to get you a mojo hand and the black cat bone and all that stuff, you know. They got whole recipe books full of that stuff. I've been in the hoodoo store down in Memphis, seen that stuff for sale. But I've been a Christian so long, I know better than to mess with it. But sometimes you got to go with the feeling. You go with what you feel like you're supposed to do, something that you have to do. It's like you play the game when you're a kid. You put a blindfold on, you play hot or cold. If you get close to the place you're supposed to be, they say you're hot, and if you're far away, you're cold. Well, sometimes lately when I meet these people and they start talking about the places I'm supposed to go, I get this funny feeling inside, and it feels like that maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. So I feel like I'm following a roadmap that's unfolding before me as I go, kind of like we're going down Route 66 and finding places that we didn't know were there. And you know, see a record store, wow, nobody told me about that one, but there it is, so you stop and check it out. Down in Greenwood, old Sam and them said, don't look in the light. They said to wait for the night. They said old Route 61's magic would help me. Lord have mercy, I wonder what they had in mind by that. As long as I got Jesus in my heart, ain't nothing coming at me I can't handle. But I gotta get back to the streets. That's where the blues is now. What I really want to know is See, these young people knowing about the blues and where they came from.
Making the blues obsolete. Well, you find it in everything. You find it in the the music that we were playing. You find it. It's everywhere. It's just not the traditional blues. That as long as everybody keeps the mystery of the blues, it's always going to stay alive. I mean, it's never going to fade away. It's always, it's almost like rock and roll is never going to go away. It's just the blues are the background, the backbone of everything.
Anything that has a rhythm and anything that has a little bit of soul in it comes from blues. Blues started the whole thing. Blues is where it all came from. Any kind of guitar you hear, any kind of soulful anything you hear came from the blues.
Back in the day when you didn't have this fancy, electric guitar, this fancy Gibson Les Paul, Telecaster or Stratocaster and Hendrix, it's like Robert Johnson's like, what kind of guitar did he play? What kind of slide did he use? Did he use a Dunlap slide? Did he use these kind of strings? He probably never changed his strings. He probably, like B.B. King building the very first Lucille, he built that.
You can't beat the blues as far as feeling. It explains the good times, it explains the bad times, it explains anything you want to feel. Anytime you feel bad, you always listen to the blues because there's somebody that's got it worse. And it's always going to make you feel better because, Muddy Waters had it worse than I did.
Yes, I did. I shot her. No, I don't my lady messing around town. So I gave her the gun and I shot her.
If anybody deserves redemption, it's Robert Johnson because he's done so much for the Delta Blues. He's done so much for music, and just to add to the whole thing, not even counting the legend, just the absolute music. You can't beat it as far as absolute. That man played his soul. He played his soul, and the first thing he deserves is redemption.
Here we go, y'all.
I don't know. It's just his whole story is just hard living and making a deal. Supposedly making a deal with the devil. It's like, you get into that, you get into religion. You start thinking of, the good and bad. It's like you always, we got to play a guitar, we got to beat a band, must be bad. Well, no, he's not necessarily bad. He was probably a peace-loving guy, just like to play his guitar and enjoy whiskey and women, really,
Let me tell you something. Whether you believe in that hoodoo stuff or not, sometimes things happen that you just don't understand.
Did you find it?
No, I got a good feeling about this one.
I don't have a very good feeling. I don't know how much luck you're gonna have.
I don't expect you to want me to have any luck, but I tell you what, Springfield, Missouri's got a whole bunch of old record shops for a town that size. And I'm going to hit a bunch of them. I already caught a few of them and got some pretty good leads on some records.
I'm not even sure there is a 30th song.
Well, sure there is. Everybody knows there is. In fact, I talked to a hoodoo woman who knows for sure. She was there when it was recorded.
You can't even afford a good car, and here you are looking for this thing.
I've got to find that song.
Well, good luck.
Well, now, I appreciate that, as if I really believe you mean it. But I tell you what, I'm going to keep looking.
Whiskey, women, and a bad case of the blues to sing about.
Well, bring it on. I ain't gonna turn it down.
T-Model Ford spent his whole life in them cotton fields. He was just 10 years old when old Robert died.
This is part of the Delta. See, this is where the blues come out of the hills. And like picking cotton, plying mule, hoeing cotton, all like that, and working in the field. The biggest of people, the colored people, they were singing. Started a choir in the field and singing. Some of it was church songs, some of it was blues songs. Man plying a good mule out there, and he'd sing all day. Different kind of song you hear. But I didn't have time to do that, because I didn't have, learn nothing. And so I didn't start to pick up a guitar until I got 58 years old. I never did range around with the blues. I never did go around and hear the blues. I seen a guy play a guitar when I was a little kid, about like that, maybe a little taller than that. And I was at home, my dad went to see, when I was raised, they didn't allow us to sit around grown folks then. Grown folk come to your house. Children you didn't hardly know children was there. Cause if you did, you know when all the folk gone, cause they gonna whoop you. And so now, since I got grown now, I was married. I've been married 5 times, divorced. And my last wife I married, she bought me a guitar. And she was all time running off. And I liked her, loved her, and we had 3 little children about like that. Already, daddy around me. And she was pregnant with another one, was mine. And she was running off. I went back and I lived with another woman. I went back to her. Brought her back here in this town. Then she said, "You see your present?" I said, "What present?" Up behind the bed. I looked back, I said, "What is it?" She said, "I bought you a guitar and amplifier." I said, "Baby, what old is I here? What you spending my money on something like that? I can't learn how to play no guitar old as I was." She said, "You can learn." I said, "Well," I didn't tell her to carry it back or nothing. I said, "Well, you gonna stay on with me?" She said, "Yeah, I'll stay on with you." I said, "Okay," and I just kept it. I didn't even look at it. That next Friday night, she done packed up to leave again. I didn't ask her to stay. I just let her went on the 7th day. 7 doctors say, "I got a whole lot of money. Don't you mess with me." Everybody knows now. You know I'm a hoochie coochie man. Everybody knows. I'm a dangerous man with the guitar when I'm playing it. After go out there for that money, I'm dangerous. Shoot, I'm dangerous. I'm just thinking I'm the best. They love my style of music. Some of them even gets me to play with them when the folk walking out. For me to come in there, T-Mo, will you play a couple with us and help us? Sometimes I say, no, I ain't gonna learn you my style. And then I say, yeah, man, I'll help you. Go in there and get in there with them. Then all of them come back in there. What's coming out now, that's what the biggest of white trying to do now, is cut the old blues out for the rock song. And the older people don't like them. Older white people, they don't like that rock song. They like them old blues, like what I play. They come thousand miles to hear what I'm playing. Save me the chicken head. I'm a chicken head man. The white then, they loved it, that song, the black folks' song. They love them now. And the blues will ever be here. Most of the old players is dead. You told me to go. Once up on the time. If I'll be young, you would sure be mine, but that's all right. I know you're in love with some other man, but that's all right. But every now and then I wonder who loved you tonight. Up on the time, if I'll be young, you won't sure be mine, but that's all right. I know you're in love with some other man, but that's all right.
It's all that's left of the Three Forks Juke Joint, Robert's last gig. That was just an old shack, but somebody had to go tear it down last year. You'd have thought someone would have kept it up as a historical site or something. Lord knows I think lots of people would have loved to see it, just for the vibes, like I'm feeling right now. Try to figure out what happened 60 years ago. About a half a mile from here, in a place called Quito, I found Robert's first grave. First grave. Man, that sounds weird. But when blues historian Steve LeVere determined that Robert was buried outside the juke joint where he died, the local preacher there put up a grave marker in the cemetery, and it seemed the story was over. But just a few months later, LeVere came up with a new eyewitness of the actual burial, you see. There's also a Mount Zion church listed on Robert's death certificate. So here I am in Morgan City, where some rock stars a few years ago put up a bunch of money for a tombstone for Robert's real grave. Roger Lee don't need to get out to see the world. The world come to Roger Lee.
Yeah, for me it's not a big deal because I was born and raised here, raised up in the blues and being around them and everybody, the B.B. King, Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, being around them is not a big thing to me, but I see the look on other people's faces when, they see them and talk about them and it's a big thing for them. But for me, I was born and raised and I saw them almost every day growing up. It's not a big thing to me. I've seen a lot of black people come here too. A lot of black people. It's not just the whites. It's all kind. Everybody. Robert Johnson touched a lot of people with that music, man. A lot of people. Not just the black people. But he did something to the people through his music, man. And I can't explain it. A lot of people can't explain it. That's why, maybe that's how the legend got started. Maybe that's how the myth got started. He could play so well that, he sold his soul. That's the only way he could learn to play that well. Nah. Yeah, anybody can learn to play, man, but you gotta practice. Practice makes perfect.
I sent for my baby, and she don't come. I sent for my baby, and she don't come. All the doctors in hot springs sure can't help her. And if she gets unruly, think she don't want it. If she gets unruly and think she don't want it.
Greenwood, Mississippi. Only a few miles north of the two Robert Johnson grave sites. He was here just a few months before the devil got him. But old Robert's legend sure ain't ready to fade yet. In the middle of downtown Greenwood, Steve LaVere has opened his own museum and shop in memory of Robert Johnson. In the 60s, Steve was responsible for the renewed interest in Robert, and he found the only 2 known pictures we have of him.
I couldn't believe that this guy was so great that he had no ego to ever go and sit for a portrait. A guy this great had to know how good he was, right? And he made all these records, and he never had a picture taken? That didn't make sense. There's got to be a picture of this guy. Nobody knows anything about him? No, we just haven't asked the right people. Somebody's got to know something about this guy. So eventually, I found the sister, and one of the things that I asked her on the telephone before I had ever met her was, is there a picture of your brother? And she said, yeah, it's a funny thing. She said, there was another guy here about a year ago, and I couldn't find that picture when he was here. And she said, I just found it a few weeks ago in a Bible. It's the common story, you put something in a safe place and then you can't find it. And when she showed it to me, I took a look at it. It was the studio portrait. When I looked at it, I thought, Jesus, is this an album cover or what?
I'll tell the story now. That's Sheba Potts, right, doing it for you on the Budweiser Bud Light Blues Cruise, her edition of Slow Rolling. Yes, indeed, out of Memphis, Tennessee, by way of Greenwood, Mississippi. Yes, indeed. 26 minutes past 6 o'clock.
Well, I be so lonesome. Baby, help me when I'm on.
A lot of the young people don't even know Robert Johnson. Never heard of Robert Johnson. Only thing they really know is about the myths they've heard at the Mississippi Crossroads, where he sold his soul to the devil. And I understand that Robert was a womanizer. He would go from juke to juke joint, and he was a womanizer. They said that he would take the woman of his choice at any of the juke joints around Greenwood or anywhere around this area.
I lost my baby and I lost my wife. Everything I do, it don't turn out nice. I lost all my money, ain't got nowhere to go. Now leave me alone, cause I'm feeling so low. Now, that's the rap. Now, it was blue. Dum 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 dum. I lost my baby. Dum 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 dum. I lost my wife. Dum 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 dum. Everything I touch, y'all, don't turn out too nice. I got the blues and I ain't got nowhere to go.
14 minutes past 6 o'clock. This is Mississippi Muddy Waters.
She's my life, I need her soul.
And the only thing that they knew back then were they knew about, you know, the misery and the hardship of getting out of there, want to make myself a better life. And that's what the blues is all about. The blues, as a guy told me a long time ago, the definition of the blues ain't nothing but a good man feeling bad.
It's a feeling that you get, especially when you're on radio and listening to the blues, and you get into it, and you listen to the words that they're saying, and then you listen at the harmonica beat that he's playing, and it just really gets all into you, you know. And then you start to understand their music after you start getting older. You know, I'm only in my early 40s, so now I'm beginning to understand the blues because I've lived some of that life now.
Everything we listen to is blues. Were it not for the blues, what we'd be listening to would be Ludwig van Beethoven, Mozart, Handel. You know, and no offense, that was the European influence. You know, that's where the music was when they came to this country. So the blues is the only true American musical art form that's here. Period. And it gave birth to everything else. Like Muddy Waters said, the blues had a baby and they called it rock and roll.
See, he said his woman been gone for 40 days and 40 nights. He played the blues. Now we're gonna go to the rap station. We're gonna play some of these. We're gonna let you hear some of the rap and some of the hip hop that's being done here in Mississippi now. Now this is a transition because this reaches a different audience. This reaches the younger people in our audience.
Rap is nothing but these young, frustrated urban American youth. They're frustrated and they feel that they have nowhere else to go, and the only outlet for them is rap music, which ain't nothing but the blues. Same thing. You know, you hear them rapping about the dirty police and they killing us up. It's crack on the streets and I don't know what's up. You know, that's the same thing.
The blues is related to the cotton fields and the hard-working people, and the rap is to the streets. It's what they're living now. It's what they're living on the streets now.
Even though times are a lot better for people that look like me in this country, times are a lot better, but there's still a heck of a lot of frustration. And the culmination of all that frustration is the fact that now they don't make it as subtle as they used to be. What they do now, they go on and say it. You know, I got to get the hell out of the ghetto, ain't nothing to do. I'm just sitting tired of talking to you. You know, they just say they're tired of working for the man. They're tired of the police whooping them. They're tired, they got to go out and do what they can, you know.
So the rappers are taking some of the same hard times, some of the same feelings that they've had for years, and they're putting it into their art form, which is rap. So it's still the blues, but they're rapping it, they're doing it in another art form. So rap is another art form, and I think it's another spin-off of the blues.
It's talking about the same thing: misery, wanting a better life, trying to get close to the woman.
All you gotta do is call me and I'll come running the way the party at. I keep a vest in a backpack, know what's happening in every city I'm rapping in.
Do you believe in the Crossroads legends?
I think whoever finds that out, whoever finds that last song and has the, well, I can't say that, and has the kahunas, for lack of a better term, to go out at midnight on that lonely road, it won't be me. But who knows? I don't know. Because if I'm out there at midnight playing the guitar, I have to be already drunk. And if I see something come up, I'm just going to chalk it up to an hallucination, because I'm saying, no, it can't be true. Wake me up before we go.
Where's the profit? I know what's in it for Robert Johnson #1, but what's in it for Robert Johnson #2? There's got to be some profit here.
I ain't looking for nothing for myself. I just feel like it's something I'm supposed to do.
That's not natural. Well, maybe we could just get you de-sick. You're sick. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. You need a doctor. We get you fixed up.
So I have talked to you before, haven't I?
Oh, well, no, not me. Not me, maybe somebody like me.
Well, I'm beginning to believe that.
Maybe somebody like me, but
what is it that you want?
I don't want anything, I just want to help.
I think I may be on the right track here.
Well, you might be, over that way, or was it over there? Or maybe it was back over there.
You guys don't know where it is, do you? You're looking for it too.
Oh, everybody may be surprised at the Crossroads.
Is this conversation really necessary?
I have to say that I think you're mistaken, I think you're wrong, and I think you are going to find more bad luck than good, Mr. Johnson.
If nobody does nothing, then Robert Johnson is liable to end up with a whole heap of more bad luck than I do.
You're wrong, I tell you, you're wrong, but it's on you. It's on you.
The rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and so since black folks has always been kind of poor, they are always on the struggle side of the whole economic thing. And I don't think that you can sing blues unless you've had the blues, unless you actually really experience some sort of deep feelings.
Clock on the wall just struck 13. Who knew the afterlife could be so mean? Yeah, he took his life on Christmas Day. Now he lonesome ghost. What the old folks say, they're lonesome ghost singing the blues. Around about midnight, I'm gonna moan for you.
Do the blues, you have to be like ready for a very desperate life. Because it's not going to unfold in any way normal, and you'll always be sort of pitched at the edge of poverty and somewhere akin or close to desperation. I think that probably the distance between real blues people and people who are not real blues people is just that very belief that the devil exists incarnate and will buy your soul for knowledge. You really do sell your soul to the devil when you play the blues. Nobody who's done it is ever happy about it. Nobody is ever really happy about it. And it's not done necessarily at a crossroad with a contract. It's written in blood or anything so graphic as that. But there comes a point where you know that you have to sell out a little bit to go forward, that you have to sell something that you own.
Oh, preacher man, don't put the poor boy down. Put him down in the ground. See my lovers standing around, standing around, standing around, down on the burying ground, down on the burying ground, down on the burying ground. See my brothers standing around, standing around, standing around, down on the burying ground, down on the burying ground, down on the burying ground.
Devil music. It's it, man. Sorry, it's devil music. Why? It's the truth. Robert Johnson, the truth is that if you go out to these balls on Saturday night and they give you money to play, they don't want you to play about subjects that are not provocative. They don't want you to play about, they don't care about you being able to play The Thrill Is Gone one more time as good as the last guy played The Thrill Is Gone. They don't care if you sound like Muddy Waters or even sing like Muddy Waters. What they want is some provocative entertainment. They want you to sing about subjects on the dark side, because they don't live on the dark side. They live on the light side. Why? Because it's too dangerous to live on the dark side. It's too dangerous to, get drunk or do drugs or, live in poverty or, travel on the road by yourself night after night. What was going on Saturday night on the juke joint was more like, secular ideas. My new girlfriend's name is Vaseline, means he's singing about masturbation. It's not going to be in church. That's bad. That's sinful. But all of the subjects, all of the real nitty gritty, facts of life are emblazoned on the old 1930s 78 RPM records, Syphilis Blues. Is the bluesman corruptible? Absolutely he's corruptible, because he's already out there playing the guitar to get girls or money or, whatever it is. And so, if he gets liquor too and gets more money or more of these worldly things going on, then in some certain sense he's bargained with the world of the devil. Even if the guy who sets him up doesn't have tails and a horn, he's like represents Old Scratch. And if you look at all of the legends, it's rarely that the guy at the Crossroads says that he's the devil himself. He says he represents the devil. He's the devil's agent.
Have you found it?
Y'all really don't know where it is, do you?
I don't think it's that simple. You're so focused on finding something that you've forgotten you've walked through a whole lot of crossroads on your way to here. Ever since you started this, you've been walking with ghosts. And some of those ghosts are a lot scarier than you or that other Robert Johnson ever thought about.
Yeah, well, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Take your heebie-jeebie hoodoo stuff and go somewhere else with it.
It's not my heebie-jeebie hoodoo stuff.
Well, what are you here for?
I'm not sure what you're doing here.
What are you talking about? Who do you think I think you are? You think I'm crazy? I know who I'm dealing with here. I know who wants to stop me. I know who tried to buy Robert Johnson's soul.
I'm here by myself to ask you why that song matters so much.
Don't give me the pretense of being on my side. Now, I recognize what's going on here now. Ain't nobody opposing me but the devil. I'm going to find Robert Johnson's record, and none of your women heebie-jeebie hoobie-doobie stuff is going to stop me on my quest.
Is it going to make a difference in your life when you find it?
If it makes a difference in Robert Johnson's life, then that is the point.
Be careful at the crossroads, Mr. Johnson. Know there are people who love you, who don't think you need to be there.
Well, I got this feeling that says that I'm going to be there.
Early this morning, when you knocked upon my door, early this morning, ooh, when you knocked upon my door, and I said, hello, Satan, I believe it's time to go. Devil was walking side by side. Me and the devil, ooh, was walking side by side. I'm going to beat my woman until I get satisfied.
Oh, I did you wrong. Oh, I did you wrong. You got another man and understand. Please don't go. You got another man and understand. Please don't go. They got me way down here. They got me way down here. They got me way down here on the county farm. Please don't go. I cried all night long. I cried all night long. You got another man and understand. Please don't go. You got another man and understand. I did you wrong. Oh, baby, don't go. Baby, please don't go. You got another man and understand.
Oh, it'd take a lifetime to hunt down all these blues guys. Thank God for this blues festival thing out here in Helena, Arkansas. I guess this is about the biggest blues deal in the South every year.
Got me way down here. They got me way down here.
Hearing all these guys with the real thing going down. And yet I feel changes taking place. In the music and in the air. I'm getting closer to that 30th song. I just know it. Talking with some of these folks, I find out that not everybody's got the same opinion about Robert Johnson's so-called deal with the devil.
Do I believe in the Crossroads?
It's there.
I believe in it.
I believe it exists. You know, it's just down the road a little bit.
Sure, I believe in it.
There's no other understanding I can come up with that, that's the only thing I can think of that could happen.
Well, I think that if you're going to believe in God, you can believe in the devil. And if the devil's there, you can make the deal with him. So, yeah, I believe it.
I feel like milking in my cow won't come. I feel like shooting in my milk won't turn.
I enjoyed it so much that I did that when I was 19 years old. I went to a dirt crossroads in Mississippi, trimmed my fingernails down, had a friend of mine drop me off this crossroads like at midnight. To do the thing, I did the real official thing, and I enjoyed it, but the devil didn't show up. Like,
I woke up this morning, feeling blue, walking like a man.
kind of like a deal with Satan. But I don't believe in Satan now. I believe there are situations like that, and I think the blues fit that situation. No matter who you are or what you do, I believe that sometimes you're called to do it. You're called to do it, and you're good at it, but there ain't no payoff. I mean, their money don't mean nothing. I mean, I ain't never gonna buy a house.
Yeah, soon I went back down to my baby's house, and I sat down on her stairs. She said, come on, in your pretty boys, in your pretty place, in your pretty place, crawling up your thigh, baby, I'm a real man, yes I am, a real man. Yes, I am a real man down, a real man down. If I came from here, well, then lay down in front of your door. I've been gone so goddamn early in the morning, baby, that's a real man never knows. Real man, real man, real man, real man.
Yeah, I feel cornered. As we say in English, I feel cornered by the music. So yeah, I think I sold my soul somewhat, a little bit. Does that answer your question?
That's it. Thanks a lot.
Like just going back in time and all the history and the everything that goes along with that, you know, that just getting the feeling of it, getting into that, the feeling of the time when that happened, you know, when the whole thing, when people thought stuff like that could go on, you know, and getting down there on the old dusty Crossroads and striking up a deal, you know, and I try to put myself into that when I play that song. You know?
Decision whether you want to do the blues the rest of your life or what direction you want to go. And I consider that your crossroad, and I think that most musicians, or you're playing anything or doing anything in life, you come to a crossroads.
Really
there must be 10 crossroads within 5 miles of where we are right now. 2 roads come together, and you know, I mean, how difficult is that to find, you know? There's lots of those. Who's to say where it is? Who's to say that it ever was? Well, the legend is that Robert Johnson went to a crossroads late at night and made a deal, a pact with the devil. It's been used by the record companies to sell records. It's been maybe used by Robert Johnson to protect himself from others. It's been used to explain Johnson's talent in the absence of appropriate language. How do you explain a talent so great in normal, everyday language? One of the ways that you can explain it is by saying that it comes from some other place. It's a way to explain the unexplainable. By saying that he was somehow connected with the supernatural, probably helped protect him. He may have died even younger had it not been for some of the things that he sang about. Don't mess with me or the devil will get you, you know? Who knows? But he is reported to have used that language about himself at one point in time.
In a few minutes, Sonny Payne is going to give me an exclusive interview. It's almost time for his radio show to end. He's been on the air at KFFA every day since 1947. His format's pretty loose, 30 minutes shooting the breeze with new people in town about anything that happens to come up. 3 songs, a few ads, and some closing credits. Nothing's changed much in all that time. 54 years on the air. So I'm going to get old Sonny's version of the legend. His bosses hate it if he gives free interviews. You know, they ain't making no money on that. But old Sonny knows I'm broke. If we keep it short, maybe we won't get caught.
I don't want him seeing us come out of here.
Do you believe in the Crossroads legends? Yeah, I believe in it. I believe in the Crossroads legend because it's really authentic and true. I'm not going into detail, but there's a long story behind that, but it's truly an authentic saying, Crossroads. I'll meet you at the crossroads.
Now tell me, what do you know about this mythical 30th song, Mr. Downchild?
No, they're not missing. They're not missing. Robert Jr. Lockwood may know where they are. And if anybody does, he does. And maybe one other person, and he's 6 feet under. So, no, they're not missing. They, I think there's a long story behind that one. I think that he didn't really want them published. One of them was, Mr. Downchild is still going strong. It'll never go.
Even at 77 years old, old Sonny don't want to get in trouble with the boss.
Yeah, it's safe to come out. I had to make sure my boss...
He's a nice guy. But he just confirmed what I already knew. That 30th song's out there. got to talk to Robert Lockwood Jr. It won't be pretty. I've heard the old guy has quite an attitude as well as an opinion. Robert Lockwood Jr., Robert Johnson's stepson. Lockwood learned to play from the man himself, but he don't always like being compared to Robert Johnson. All that talk about the devil and contracts and stuff.
Jelly roll stays on my mind.
No. Used to play with Otis Redding.
Well, why?
Well,
there's a whole lot of crossroads all over the world.
You know about this legend, the myth about the 30th song, Mr. Downchild?
Robert Johnson taught me. The crossroad don't mean nothing. I'm sorry, okay? The crossroads are all over the cross street, right there. They're all over the world.
Nothing new. This blues festival's really something, though. Good music, good vibes, good people. But I don't feel like the answer's here. Too obvious.
If that comes, some old Robert Johnson stuff, it's in hiding somewhere. If anybody's got it, bring it out. It's some cool stuff.
It would be really cool to find the lost song of Robert Johnson and go down and play it and see what actually happened. I would think if I found the song, I would have to go play it just to give him his chance at redemption, whether it's real or not. I would feel very unloyal to the blues if I didn't do that.
Down there one night. I don't know if it was the right crossroads, but one night, and it was very spooky. I believe that you can get yourself into a state of mind, get down there and get that feeling. I don't know about the real, if the devil really came and took Robert Johnson's soul or not.
I believe that it is such a song, but I have no idea where to find it. But if you happen to know what it is, please tell me, because I love to sing it down at the crossroads. I'm telling you.
Well, I'll go down and try it. I'd like to get that number 30 song. That'd be the deal, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm standing at this crossroads, I believe I'm sinking down. Crossroads Blues for you there, yeah.
Steve LeVere called. Said I got to come back to Greenwood as quick as possible. Apparently he's found a third gravesite. Help me, Holy Ghost. Help me, if you please.
The place where Johnson was actually poisoned is the intersection of highways 49 and 82. I have never found anybody besides Honey Boy who ever called that place Three Forks. So eventually I found out that there was a Zion church right near the real Three Forks. That has come to be the place where Johnson is truly buried. We found an eyewitness to the burial, and so we were able to prove our suspicion that was in fact the place where Johnson is buried. Mrs. Eskridge, who was the eyewitness to the burial of Robert Johnson, told me when I first brought her out here, she said, now, I don't know exactly where he's buried out in here, but I know it's not too far from this tree, she said, because when they brought him out here on that flatbed truck in that pine box, the truck pulled right up next to this tree, and they took that pine box and set it right at the foot of this tree. And she said Tom, which was her husband, had dug the grave right over in this area someplace, and she said eventually they took him from the foot of this tree and put him down in that grave. She said, I never saw who was in the grave, but I was told that it was a famous blues singer. She didn't even know his name. She never went out at night. She was not a worldly person. She just lived peacefully on the plantation and was a good Christian woman. This place was the only place that it was burying indigent black people in late 1930s. And I think that's as close as we're ever going to get to anything that comes close to a verification of the fact that Robert Johnson is buried in this place. I think the fact that he's got 3 graves just adds to the folklore about Robert Johnson. You know, I think it's wonderful that a man who created such great music is not buried in 1 grave, but 3. It's just more of the same, you know, hyperbole that surrounds the life and music and death of Robert Johnson. Jesus of Nazareth, King of Jerusalem, I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he will call me from the grave. And it's supposed to be in his own handwriting, and that note was a very treasured keepsake of his sister, because even though he lived the life of a blues singer, she believes that in the end, he was saved. That's the end of the story and the beginning of the legend.
You may bear my body by the highway side. Baby, I don't care where you bear my body when I'm dead and gone. You may bear my body down by the highway side. So my old evil spirit can get a Greyhound bus and ride.
So Robert believed he could be saved and was going to tell the world. I got a feeling I'm going to find out just how bad the devil wants this record.
Robert Johnson, I called you about your record collection.
Well, it's about time. You're supposed to have been here 2 hours ago.
Well, my truck broke down.
Well, how'd you get here?
I walked the last couple miles.
Well, I had places to go.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm hoping I got what you want.
All right, thanks a lot.
Not a problem.
Can I set this stuff
I got
over here?
something playing here. Let me turn it off a little bit. So that way we can talk about this.
Okay, is it okay if I sit here?
Yeah. So I'm really not sure what you're looking for.
Looking for Robert Johnson. Called Terrapin Blues.
You might try this book here. I'm real not for sure which one it might be in. I have several.
Stuff in it. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Oh man, this is cool. This is some old stuff. Boy.
Yeah. But it seemed awful important to you.
This may be the most important thing I've ever done. I'll see what I can find here. Here's lucky number 7 coming up. I got a good feeling about that.
Let me get that, and you go ahead and keep looking.
All right, there it is. Robert Johnson, Terrapin Blues. Oh man.
How are you?
Yep. If it's just blank on the other side, then.
Right now, I'm talking with the gentleman.
Oh, yeah, have mercy. Have mercy. Sometimes you just got to say, thank you, Jesus.
Think you finally made it, don't you?
I reckon I have.
Just where do you think you are, buddy?
I think I'm talking to the man I need to talk to.
You're smarter than I thought you were. A lot of people been trying to talk to you.
I done talked to your boys, and I done talked to your bitch. Now I got just a short piece to talk with you about.
And now look at you smiling at me like that.
What do you think I got?
I know what you got. You think I ain't been around, but I've been there every step of the way, mister. What do you give a damn about Robert Johnson?
Everybody gives a damn about Robert Johnson.
You think he was the only blues man, don't you?
No, I'm a blues man too.
We'll see.
Well, I don't guess you'd want to look in that bag and see what I got.
That ain't my bag.
Yeah.
That's your bag you been packing around.
But you probably just don't want to pick that Bible off the top of it and look, do you?
That ain't none of my concern. That ain't why I'm here.
Maybe it does concern you. Maybe it's exactly why you're here. You know I've been looking for Robert's 30th song.
And you think you're the only one?
Do you want to do some business?
Well, let me see. You know what I got, because you're here asking for it. Get it out. You get it out. Let me see. I think you ain't nothing but bullshit in that bag. What do you got in there?
Right there. Robert Johnson's last record. Terraplane Blues on one side, blank on the other. I'm here to trade Robert Johnson's last record, the one he never got to play live. I want Robert Johnson's soul to get free.
Yeah. What do I need that record for?
How long you been looking for it?
And then it's mine.
It's yours.
Ain't nobody gonna know Robert Johnson's soul I gave away. Ain't it gonna know that? Give me that. You ain't no blues man. I'm the blues man. I got it right here. I'll make a deal with you. I made a deal with Robert. I'll make a deal with you too. What you gonna do, Christian? You gonna play the blues or you gonna thump on that Bible? What you gonna do? Look what I got. Look what I got. Don't you see? We done got this.
What kind of deal you offering me?
How deep in your pockets you go for that?
Well, I ain't got no money.
I got to have some money to drive around.
I got no money. I told you I'm a blues man.
You ain't got shit. You ain't nothing but a guitar packing Bible thumper. That's all you are.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
And you got some poor old man's soul. You thump your Bible, I'll spin the blues. Sucker. Sucker.
Too bad about the song. Oh well. So I guess I'll just head on home and do what I know how to do. Preach a little gospel, play some blues, devil ain't got nothing I want anyway. And there sure ain't nothing in hell I'm interested in. At least the devil didn't get him. He didn't get me either. After all, I am Robert Johnson.